Fighting Saints of St. Francis fell in a grueling 5-set match this weekend against IUSB. Today they welcome another challenge from the CCAC. Judson comes to town for a big volleyball matchup. It's the Eagles and the Saints coming up right around the corner here on the USF Sports Network. Good evening from Joliet, Illinois, and the campus University of St. Francis. We are inside the Sullivan Center as we prepare for the University of St. Francis and Judson University CCAC volleyball tonight, and it should be a fun one. Two of the top teams in the CCAC so far this year going head-to-head tonight. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for tonight's action as the Saints gather around their head coach, Kara Courier, for last-minute preparations before today's game. St. Francis coming off of a tough stretch. They've lost 3 of their last 4, but they were against some very difficult competition. St. Xavier, Olivet Nazarene, and Indiana South Bend are the only 3 conference losses for the Fighting Saints this year. Those 3 teams rank 1, 2, and 3 in the conference standings so far this year. The Saints check in at number 4. The team that they're playing today, Judson, is just behind them, 5 and 4 in the conference standings, and Judson's losses have come against, you guessed it, St. Xavier, IUSB, and Olivet Nazarene. They also lost one to Trinity International, but it has been 2 teams with very similar conference resumes so far this year. Get a few more last-second preparations on our side in just a few moments, but right now, let me turn things over to public address announcer Dave Laquetta for the National Anthem and the starting lineups of today's match, which is just moments away.
So tonight's starting lineups, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. At this time, let's introduce tonight's starting lineups. First, for Judson University. Setter number 1, Natalie Kofi. Opposite side hitter number 6, Alyssa Gurzo. Outside hitter number 8, Brielle Wilkins. Middle blocker number 9, Katie Valeria. Outside hitter number 11, Mackenzie Ebert. Middle blocker number 16, Emmeline Davey. And tonight's libero number 3, Enola Varga. The Eagles are coached by Julia Fahey. And now the starting lineup for your Fighting Saints. She's a sophomore outside hitter from Joliet, Illinois, number 2, Desiree Anderson. A freshman center from Elwood, Illinois, number 3, Abby Ladd. A sophomore right side attacker from Beecher, Illinois, number 11, Kaylee Sipple. A senior defensive specialist from Schaumburg, Illinois, number 12, Gabby Paelmo. middle hitter from Westchester, Illinois, number 15, Stephanie Woods. A senior middle hitter from Plainfield, Illinois, number 20, Lauren Stefanski. And the libero tonight, a junior from Franklin, Wisconsin, number 16, Hannah Monfrey. Fighting Saints are coached by Miss Kara Courier.
So the starting lineups are in, and that gets us set to go. St. Francis against Judson, in what should be a good battle today between conference rivals and two teams that have performed well throughout CCAC play so far this year. St. Francis got off to a rough start this year. They won 8 in a row prior to their current stretch of 3 losses in their last 4 matches. Again, that was against the cream of the conference, and the Saints proved that they were not far behind those top teams. 2 of their 3 losses came in 5 sets. Judson has won 3 of their last 4. They take the floor wearing their navy blues. They'll be standing on the left side of your screen throughout today's game, and the Saints in brown on the right side. As a COVID precaution, the 2 teams will not be flipping sides throughout tonight's match, so even though they're both wearing dark jerseys with gold letters and numbers, it might be a little bit difficult to tell apart. Just rest assured, you don't have to be too confused, because they'll be standing in place the entire match tonight. Saints are ready to go. The Eagles have broken the huddle. They're ready to go as well. And St. Francis will serve first. It's Gabby Paelmo, the senior defensive specialist, who goes back to get us started. Paelmo, number 12 for the Fighting Saints. Sends it away, and here we go. There's a big hit and a kill for Katie Valeria. The middle blocker out of Dodgeville, Wisconsin. Valeria has the first kill of the night for Judson. She averages about 2 of those per set this season. She's one of the top attackers on this Judson roster. Stephanie Woods tries to get one back, but she pushes it out of bounds. It was tipped at the net, so a point to St. Francis. So a late signal there from today's official, but it is a point to the Fighting Saints. As Woods' attack was tipped at the net, she'll get credit for the kill. And we are tied up at 1. Woods now gets the serve. The return from Judson drops in for a point. And that one comes off the hand of Mackenzie Ebert. Ebert is a senior, and she is the top offensive weapon for Judson on the season. 6 feet tall, an imposing force up at the net. And she has 182 kills on the season. This time, no need for her to get involved. It's an ace and a point for Judson. Skylar Cavill gets credit for the point. Cavill has her first of the night, and Judson leads by a deuce. Here's Desiree Anderson winding up for her first hit of the night, and Anderson has the kill. Anderson on Saturday night against Indiana South Bend managed only 2 kills in the first set, got off to a slow start, and then she really turned it up. She ended that match going 5 sets, setting a career high with 26 kills on the night, which helped her to the Attacker of the Week award in the CCAC. Monfrey sets it up for Peyton Baird, who taps it over. Ebert goes soft on that kill, and I think St. Francis went into the net. So the point goes to Judson. And they have the 2-point lead once again over St. Francis. The Fighting Saints have not yet been able to win a point on a serve. They've given it up once again to the Eagles. Sipple sets for Anderson. Anderson goes to the middle, a nice diving play to keep it alive right there. Peyton Baird looking for the point. It's blocked out of bounds by Ebert. And the Saints get credit for that one. They're down once again by just a point. So they'll look to tie the score now. For the first time since it was 1-1, very early here in the first set. Saints have not yet led. Ebert receives that in the back corner. And we've got a double hit on Judson. So the point goes to the Fighting Saints. It comes on Anderson's serve. First time today that the Saints have been able to get a point on a serve. And now they can take their first lead on another attempt from Desiree Anderson. A little bit mistimed right there, but Zoe Eitel hits it over. Lauren Stefanski hits it back, and Stefanski gets the point for the Fighting Saints. 3 in a row for St. Francis. They lead for the first time. It's 5-4. Stefanski's off to a good start tonight, as is Anderson, who serves here. Kenya Diaz-Vega sets it up for Ebert, and Mackenzie Ebert takes it home. A nice assist right there for Diaz-Vega, and another strong kill for Ebert. She's got a couple of them early on here. And now she gets a serve right from the middle of the floor. Anderson hits it into the net. So the two teams go back and forth early here. We've had 3 ties and a couple of lead changes in just the first 11 points. Saints try to tie it up again. It's Taylor Connolly tipped at the net, and Judson can't recover. So Connolly gets the kill. And Kara Courier's squad moves back into a tie. 6-all here. Good back and forth action early on in this match. We expected nothing less between two very evenly matched teams on paper. There's a block by Stephanie Woods, but into the net. Woods couldn't get that one where she was looking to. She did get over the net and touch it, but straight down on her side. So Judson is back in front. Sipple tries to keep it alive for the Saints. Sets it up for Monfrey, and Monfrey bumps it over and out of bounds. It was an awkward series for St. Francis there. And Monfrey was just trying to keep them alive by hitting it over, but she looked like she got it off the side of her arm and sent it out of bounds. So tough sequence overall for the Saints, as was that. St. Francis has looked completely out of sorts receiving serves the last couple of times. And Judson has built their biggest lead of the night so far at 9-6. Serve coming from Enola Varga. Stephanie Woods gets the Saints back on the board. Good hit by Woods. Saints needed that one after two sides had traded points for a while. Judson was threatening to put them down by 4. And instead, Woods and company are able to get back within a pair. And now some trouble for Judson as Ebert is able to hit it over, but a free chance here for the Saints. And Woods takes advantage. Back-to-back kills for Stephanie Woods. Stephanie Woods, a senior out of Westchester, Illinois, has brought the Saints to within 1. Abby Labb on the serve. And there's Labb receiving it on the back end. Anderson gets it down from the backside. Anderson gets it past Enola Varga and ties this thing up at 9. 3 in a row for the Saints. Second time already in this first set they've been able to score as many as 3 points consecutively. Now they look for the lead. Monfrey keeps it alive. Nice play by Hannah Monfrey as she hits it over. Into the net and out of bounds. That's a point to the Saints. Awkward hit from Zoe Eitel there. And the Saints are in front for the first time since 5-4, just the second time they've held the lead tonight. Nearly an ace for Abby Labb. She got some help from the net, but Judson's able to hit it back over. And a strong hit from Lindsay Lawler. Drops it in along the sideline. Lab looked almost confused there after that ball had rolled over the top of the net. It seemed sure to fall for a point. Not sure the Saints ever fully got back in position. Nice job by Sipple to keep it alive. And a great hit by Connolly to get it over the net and down. And sometimes you got to get lucky with the placement, and Connolly did right there because she was just trying to hit that ball anywhere as long as she kept the volley alive. But a great defensive play from Connolly, and she ends up with an offensive point out of it. Paelma, who started the game with the serve, gets another one here. Ebert plays it with the palms up on the backside. Nice block of the net by the Fighting Saints. Judson tries it again. Sipple throws it down. There's a point for Kaylee Sipple, giving the Saints their first multi-point lead of the night. Sipple, usually the setter up at the net, but she saw her opportunity right there and took charge. Sophomore from Beecher. That hit hits the line, inbounds for Katie Valeria. Actually, I take that back. That is not Valeria. Brielle Wilkins, who's able to pick up the kill. Oh, excuse me. That did not go Judson's way. Must have hit out of bounds. I saw the call there. It is a point to the Saints. That explains why Judson was arguing with her. That figures. Saints lead by 3. It's their biggest lead. They've reached the halfway point here in the first set, and now they've gone past that. 4-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Timeout called by Julia Fahey. Over on the Judson bench, Fahey needs to talk things over with her side as they all of a sudden trail by 4. This one was back and forth early on. But the Saints have opened it up a little bit with a 4-0 run. In fact, St. Francis was down 9-6. So they've gone on an 8-1 run since then. 2 straight stretches of 4 consecutive points. And Kara Courier's got to be happy with what she's seen from her team so far throughout this first set. This is a team that has been battle-tested lately. They've lost 3 of their last 4 matches, but those 3 losses came to St. Xavier, who is undefeated in conference, Indiana South Bend, who's undefeated in conference, and Olivet Nazarene, who's got just 2 losses in conference. And those 2 losses came to St. Xavier and Indiana South Bend. So really tough opponents, and they took 2 of them down to the wire, as close as could be. Losses to Olivet and IUSB at home last week. So they've lost their last 2 on Pat Quigley court. In good shape here in the first set tonight. And in better shape now as Paelma comes down with an ace. Judson unable to play that one. Kendall Storley mishit it. It's a 5-0 run for the Saints. Now 9-1, a 5-point lead. Low line drive served from Paelma, played from the back line. It's Ebert who hits it over and inbounds. Just barely snuck it in there. Good hit by Mackenzie Ebert, and the Saints, I don't know that they had a chance to play it to begin with. Ended up letting it go. And that snaps the 5-point run of success for St. Francis. Here's the serve from Judson, away from Kenya Diaz-Vega. Anderson sends it back the other way. Four kills already tonight for Desiree Anderson. She had over 20 kills twice last week in the 3 matches that they played. Sipple pushes it over, tried to get it over to the backside, couldn't quite get it over everyone's head, so the rally remains alive. Sipple hits it over. There's a big hit from Katie Valeria, who soars up and slams it into the corner. Nice kill for Valeria. Judson still hanging around, down by just 4. And the serve here will belong to Cavill. Cavill up with the left hand. Played on the back end by Anderson. Here's Monfrey. And a nice finish for Judson. Gerzel that time finished it off. Alyssa Gerzel, the freshman, has her first kill of the night. The serve from Cavill goes too long and out of bounds. And that point goes to St. Francis, whose lead is back up to 4, needing just 8 more now to come away with a first set victory. Kaylee Sipple steps back to get this serve off. A running start, sends it away with the left hand. Block at the net by Anderson, still alive for Stefanski, and she drops it in bounds. Perfect placement from Lauren Stefanski. 6'4" tall senior who transferred in a couple of years ago from Loyola. Off to a good start today. Stefanski's got her second kill. Out of bounds on the attack from Judson. On the attacking error, the Saints inch ever closer to a first set victory, and Julia Fahey can feel that. She calls timeout. Timeout called by Judson, 19-13. St. Francis has the lead. They've been led in this first set by Desiree Anderson and Stephanie Woods, who have 4 and 3 kills respectively. I mentioned that Anderson had 20 or more kills in 2 out of 3 matches played last week. The only time she didn't was the one match that St. Francis won. Oftentimes those big numbers are not necessarily what you want to see. Really, the rate statistics are more important, because the bigger numbers you put up usually means the more sets you've played, and it's always the preference to win in 3 or 4 if you can. The Saints' lone win last week did come in just 3 sets. They swept Governor's State at Governor's State last Thursday night, sandwiched between 2 really tough, hard-fought losses at home. Kaylee Sipple out of the timeout hits her serve into the net. That's the first serving error of the night for the Fighting Saints. It pulls Judson within 5 as they get the serve back. It belongs to Lindsay Lawler. Lawler's left-handed serve is played on the backside by Palmo. Here's Anderson going up high, hitting it along the sideline out of bounds. Just missed her target there. That is the 3rd attacking error of the night for Desiree Anderson. St. Francis's lead is still at 4, though. Sipple sets for Stefanski, tipped at the net and played on the back end. There's Ebert going up high, blocked out of bounds by the Saints. That one hit out of bounds. And so it is St. Francis's point. An attacking mishap there from Ebert. But Anderson hits it into the net. Second service error in a row committed by the Saints. Judson has gotten back into this. St. Francis went on a very impressive run, but Judson has stuck around, and now they're looking to make a run of their own as Monfrey makes a sliding stop. Sipple over to the other side into the corner. Blocked and down for St. Francis. Stefanski on the block. Peyton Baird was up there as well. What a big block and a big point for the Fighting Saints, who now lead by 5 once more. Now Judson needs to go on a big run to stay in it. Monfrey grazes the net but gets it over. There's a tip at the net, and the whistle blows. A net violation on the Fighting Saints. So we're back to where we were at the beginning of this set. 2 teams trading points, neither team getting on a roll. Serves away from Manola Varga. Taylor Conley Pushed back the other way. Nice diving play by Monfrey. Another diving effort by Monfrey. This time it drops in though. Katie Valeria, who's able to find the soft spot on the St. Francis defense. Valeria's point pulls Judson within 3. Here's Woods. And another kill for Stephanie Woods. That's her 4th. Woods not only has 4 kills, she's only had 4 swings. So she's got a 1,000 hitting percentage right now. Big part of the reason the Saints have a lead at this stage of the set. Nice diving play by Desiree Anderson to keep it alive. That attack goes out of bounds. Was it tipped? It was not. Point to St. Francis. Wilkins pushed it a little bit too far. And now the Saints are just 2 points away from a victory. They'll have to wait on those 2 points as Lab hits it out of bounds on the serve. That's the 3rd attacking error that St. Francis has committed. They've had all of them over the last 4 points. And now an error committed by Judson. So both teams are having a little trouble serving. And if the Saints can get this serve inbounds, they're in good shape to wrap up a first set victory. Gabby Palmo will try to finish it off. The back line played by Ebert. Into the net by Valeria. They get it back though. But it wasn't blocked by St. Francis. They hit it into the net on that initial attack. And so when they tried to start the attack over, they're called for 4 hits. And that wraps up the first set here. St. Francis takes the opener. Good run in the middle of the set for the Fighting Saints. They turned a 9-6 deficit into a 15-10 lead with a 9-1 run. And from that point on, it really was all Fighting Saints as they wrap up a 25-20 victory in the first set of the night. So they're 1/3 of the way to match victory tonight. We'll have the second set coming your way in just a few moments. Right now, we'll step aside for a quick break here on the USF Sports Network.
For me, it was just love at first sight. I came here and I knew that the people here really cared.
That's our one goal, is to see you walk across that stage and to have a successful life.
The professors and the university really do prepare their students for the real world.
When I came here, I got my voice, I got my independence, I got that sense of I can make an impact.
USF education isn't just teaching you what you need to know about your field. It's teaching you what you need to know to make the world a better place.
Back inside the Pat Sullivan Center on the campus University of St. Francis. Fighting Saints have a 1-0 lead over Judson right now. 25-19, the final in set number 1. Saints were led by Stephanie Woods and Desiree Anderson, who each had 4 kills in that first set. Woods did it with an 800 hitting percentage. Really impressive start to the night for her. They've also seen Kaylee Sipple step up with a kill and a team-high 11 assists and 4 digs. So a nice first set all around for the Saints. They hit 393 over that first game. Judson just 194. Eagles were led by Mackenzie Ebert with 4 kills and a .429 percentage. They got 3 assists from Natalie Kofi. Ebert this season has been the top attacker for Judson, 182 kills coming in, averaging just a shade under 3 per set on the season with a 164 percentage. So she has played to her numbers so far, but Judson made a few more mistakes offensively as well. Both of these teams coming into play tonight have a reigning CCAC Player of the Week in the lineup. Desiree Anderson, number 2 in Brown, was the Attacker of the Week for last week. Second time she's won that award. And she has looked it so far today. Over on the other side, Enola Varga was named the Defensive Player of the Week. She's off to a slower start today. Varga has just one dig so far in this one. The libero for Judson, so she wears number 3 in white on the Eagles side, and she checks in to get us started here in set 2. Judson will get the first serve, and it'll be Kenya Diaz-Vega who will send it away. Diaz-Vega sends it off. Here we go. Sipple to Anderson, out of bounds. Too strong on the strike from Desiree Anderson. And Judson, for the second straight game, takes the first point. 1-0 score. Paelmo to Sipple to Stefanski. Stefanski gives it a light touch. Judson's able to return it. Anderson on the back end. That's Diaz-Vega. Blocked by the Saints. Judson sticks with it. Diving play, Paelmo. She can't keep it alive. Nice effort, but a good attack from Kofi. Natalie Kofi picks up the point for the Eagles. They lead by 2. Biggest lead for Judson in the first set was 3 points. Saints' biggest lead was 6, and that was the final score. Anderson along the top of the net, hit back. Stefanski has her hit returned as well. Hit into the net though. Alyssa Gerzel on the attacking error helps the Saints to their first point of the game. 1 serving 2 here as Kaylee Sipple goes back to serve. And Sipple's got herself an ace. Bit of a break there as that one skimmed the top of the net. Killed the momentum of the ball just enough for it to drop onto the hardwood. Second time today that's happened to the Saints. The other one, though, somehow was played by Judson. Not this time. The Saints can gain their first lead of the set right here, but they don't. Katie Valeria doesn't allow it. Another kill for Valeria. Gives Judson the lead back. She's now got 4 in the match. That's tied with Ebert for the team high. And it's tied with Ebert, Woods, and Anderson for a game high. 4 kills. Wet spot on the floor is cleaned up. Here's the serve from Skylar Cavill. Sipple for Anderson. Blocked. Good block by Ebert. Judson leads by a pair. Second block of the night for Judson. And it leads to a service error on Skylar Cavill. Second time tonight she's done that. Judson gives the serve back to the Saints. Taylor Connolly comes in for St. Francis. They trail by just a point with the sophomore Desiree Anderson getting the serve. Blocked by St. Francis, right back to Judson. Over the blockers this time, well placed by Gerzel. Judson gets the point. They lead by 2. St. Francis leads 1-0. They took the opener 25-19. Saints have not yet led here in the second set, but they trailed early on in the first one as well. Monfrey to Sipple. Stefanski finishes it off. Perfectly played by the Fighting Saints. Pass set spike. Finish it off with the kill for Lauren Stefanski. Stefanski has her first kill of the set. She's now up there atop the leaderboard with 4 on the night. Judson gets this one back just on the line. Inches made the difference right there. Eagles regain the serve and again a multi-point lead. So it's Mackenzie Ebert, the senior attacker, who gets the serve here. Peyton Baird. Eitel finishes it off. Zoe Eitel gets the point for Judson. 7 of 4 matches the biggest lead they've held all night. They were up 9-6 in the first set. And now this marks the second time that they've been ahead by as many as 3. See if the Saints can go on a roll the same way they did last time around. Sipple for Connolly. Good hit by the freshman Taylor Connolly. She picks up another point for the Fighting Saints, who again are within 2. Here's another freshman, Abby Labb from Elwood, Illinois. Labb hits it away with the right hand. Reverse corner to Mackenzie Ebert. And hit over by Zoe Eitel, who gets the tip from St. Francis and has it deflected out of bounds. Eitel gets the point. Judson takes the point, and the lead extends back to 3. Here's Enola Varga serving. Anderson, played on the backside by Varga. Tipped back over. There's Conley for Sipple. Stephanie Woods, nice hit. Judson's able to recover. Eitel hits it into the net. Conley and Woods went up for the block. I don't think either of them got it. It looked like that one went straight into the net. So once again, the Saints do not allow Judson to create any serious distance between the two. The Eagles have led throughout this second set, but have struggled to get on a roll that might put the Saints back on their heels a little bit. They, however, have prevented the Saints from getting on any kind of roll. Point for Wilkins makes it 9-6. This is where we were last game, too. It was 9-6 after 15 points. St. Francis outscored Judson the rest of the way, 19-10. They'll try to put on a similar run here. Woods hits it to the back line. A diving effort from Palmo, but Wilkins is able to drop it in for the point. And Judson does take their biggest lead of the match. Kara Courier calls timeout. 10-6. The Eagles lead the Saints, still relatively early here in the second set, but Judson trying to establish control. First set, we saw a lot of back and forth. We have not so far in this one. In fact, by the 16-point segment of set 1, I think the score had already been tied 4 times. We'd already seen a couple of lead changes as well. No lead changes in this one. It has been Judson since the beginning, but again, prior to that last hit from Wilkins, they have not been able to pull away at all from St. Francis. 4 points, I don't know if you can call it pulling away, but much more comfortable lead than they've had up to this stage of the match. So the Saints will try to regroup here. Slow going offensively. So far just 2 kills and a 0 hitting percentage in this set. Judson's hitting percentage is up at .375 so far. So the Eagles have stepped up after taking a loss in the opening set. Couldn't really afford to go down again here. And so far, so good for him. Here's the serve from Natalie Kofi. Stephanie Woods ricocheted off of Varga and kept alive by Judson. Anderson, perfect hit. In between Ebert and Kofi on that back line. Anderson has her first kill of the second set and her 5th of the night. The Saints have pulled within 3. And we've got a double hit here on Natalie Kofi. So a mistake made by Judson. They've been few and far between here in the second set so far. But a costly one there. It gives the Saints the point. Now they can pull within 1. Sipple gets the line. Nice hit by Kaylee Sipple. Just barely in bounds. Coming out of the timeout, St. Francis has scored 3 in a row. And they are within 1 point. Judson gets back on the board. Tipped at the net by Stefanski, but she couldn't block it as it deflects off her fingertips out of bounds. A much-needed point for the Eagles, who saw their 4-point lead nearly disappear entirely right there. Instead, they keep it at 2 as they send Kenya Diaz-Vega back to serve. Anderson tipped and down. Desi Anderson has the Saints within 1. 10 serving 11 here. Right around the halfway point of the second set. St. Francis leads overall 1-0. Anderson winds up and throws it down. It got away from Judson, and that was all too easy for Desiree Anderson, who has tied it up 11-11. First time we've been tied in a while. Ebert blocks, and the Saints take their first lead of the set. Lauren Stefanski at the net. Comes up with the block. 12-11. Just as we saw happen in the first one. The Saints have gone on a great run around the midway point. Another block, but this time it goes out of bounds. So we're tied for the third time. It was 2-2, and then Judson scored 8 of the next 12 before the Saints could knot things up at 11. And now we're tied at 12 as well. Back out the line, a good serve from Skylar Cavill. Monfrey let it go, and that one got the line. Judson is back on top. Our second lead change of the set, 13-12. Sipple for Stefanski, taps it over the blockers and gets it down. Lauren Stefanski now has 5 kills in the match. She's hitting at a .556 clip so far tonight. Anderson serves. And a point to St. Francis as Judson had an illegal hit. Saints are in front once again. An attacking error from the Eagles. They've started to pile those up, but the Saints respond with an error of their own. Unforced errors have been a much bigger part of St. Francis's game here in the second set than of Judson's, but the Eagles just made a big one. Saints respond with one of their own. That has been a bit of a concern for the Saints throughout tonight's match. That's the 4th service error. The other 3 came pretty much all in a row back in the first set. Peyton Baird blocked and down. Point to Judson. Mackenzie Ebert was on that block. And so was Kaya Golding. So Ebert and Golding combined for the block to give Judson the advantage back. 15-14 now. Stefanski ties it back up. Biggest lead for either side in this set was 4. That was when it was 10-6 in the Eagles' favor. The Saints have not led by more than 1. But here they are hanging around. And they're down by 1 again. Good hit from Golding. Looked like she may have mistimed her jump a little bit, but still had the wherewithal to drop that one in along the sideline. Perfectly placed on the hit. Judson 16, St. Francis 15. Woods tips it over the blockers and down. It's been a nice night for Stephanie Woods. Really strong in the first set. She slowed down a little bit here in the second, but good one that time. Serve is away from Abby Ladd. And the kill comes down for Brielle Wilkins. Back and forth we go now, 17-16, Judson in front. Neither team has led by more than 1 since it was 11-9 in Judson's favor. Since then, we've pretty much just seen the two sides trade points. Taylor Connolly trying to keep that trend going. She does. The point for Connolly ties it at 17. So we remain stuck in this quagmire. Kind of a holding pattern right now. It's the first to 8 from here on out. Whoever gets their next 8 points first will pick up the victory here. A big set. St. Francis can take control with a win here. Judson can make it best of 3 if they get to 25 first. Blocked by the Saints, and that's down for a St. Francis point. Anderson and Woods up at the net on that block. So the Saints are in front again. But now a hill they have not been able to get over. Can they take a multi-point lead? They're going to have to at some point if they want to get the win. Lawler sets it up for Wilkins. Nice dig by Paelmo. And Monfrey hits it over. Kaylee Sipple drops it in. Nice finesse game from the Fighting Saints tonight. We've seen a lot of that, actually, from both sides. We've seen good efforts on either team. Playing it soft and just finding the soft spot on the defense. Sipple did that right there. And Kaylee Sipple picks up her 3rd kill of the night in the process and forces Judson to call a timeout. So the two games have not been identical by any means, but they've kind of followed a similar pattern. Close early, with Judson kind of establishing a lead nearing the midway point, and then St. Francis just getting really hot. Last game they went back and forth. Judson started to pull away a little bit, scoring 3 in a row and taking a 9-6 lead, and from that point on, St. Francis outscored them 19-10. Here in this game, close early, but Judson established themselves as the superior early team. They led 10-6. And since then, St. Francis has outscored them 13-7. So just about doubling them up once again since the early hole. And now we'll see if they can carry that all the way to 25. Gabby Paelmo gets the serve. She's been good as the server tonight, netting some big points for the Fighting Saints. Lawler sets for Valeria, and Katie Valeria gets Judson back on track out of the timeout. St. Francis called a timeout when they were down 10-6, and that's when they started their run. Now Judson calls a timeout facing their biggest deficit at 19-17, and they immediately score a point. See if the timeout helps carry some momentum over for the Eagles. Stephanie Woods tips it across. Little miscommunication from Judson. And Wilkins ends that series by knocking it out of bounds. So not a great hit from Wilkins there, but it really started the problems for the Eagles. Started prior to that. It's not a good sequence of events for them. Here's Ebert. Nice play by Paelmo from her knees. Anderson hits it to the backside, and Varga. Blocked by St. Francis. Lauren Stefanski comes up big at the net. And the Fighting Saints have their first 3-point lead of the second set. And they're just 4 away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead. Stephanie Woods gets the serve. And it's right into the net. Critical error by St. Francis. Judson needed it. Now they're right back in this thing. 19 serving 21. It's Kenya Diaz-Vega from dead center getting the serve. Desiree Anderson throws it down across court and down into the far corner. Another big one for Anderson. Having another good night tonight. And pulling the Saints ahead by 3. And now just 3 points away from a win. Ebert tipped at the net by Peyton Baird. Nice block by Baird. Ebert will try again. This time she goes harder and gets it down. She tried to go soft. Baird was onto her tricks. Ebert went with the full shot. And her second chance. And she gets the point for the Eagles, pulling them within 2. Very tight down the stretch here in the second set. Skylar Cavill gets the serve. Anderson plays it to Sipple. Peyton Baird over the blockers. Back line kept alive by Judson. And Diaz-Vega hits it over. Free ball for the Saints. Sipple sets it up again, this time for Anderson. And Anderson finishes it off. Great setup right there by the Fighting Saints. And when Anderson is able to get a good ball to hit, she typically has not disappointed. Timeout called with the score Saints 23, Eagles 20. Desiree Anderson picks up her 8th kill of the match so far. And now the Saints need just 2 more points to take a 2-0 lead over Judson tonight. St. Francis took the opener 25-19. Judson has put together a little bit better of a fight here in the second game. Like I was saying during that last time out, it's followed a pretty similar pattern. But when the Saints made their run this time around, it wasn't quite so definitive. Judson has hung in there a little bit better. Still, though, on the brink of falling behind 2-0, and that would be a big deficit for them. Well, you probably don't need to hear me say that. It's pretty self-explanatory. 2-0 is a pretty big deficit. Saints nearly came back from 2-0 down on Saturday before falling in the 5th set 15-13. You know what happens. Teams go down 2-0 and come back to win, but it's a tall order. Here's Anderson trying to get the Saints within a point, and she does. Ebert and Diaz-Vega kind of run into each other, and the miscommunication leads to a Desi Anderson ace, and now it's set point for the Fighting Saints. They'll have as many as 4 of these. Kofi for Ebert, and Mackenzie Ebert goes up high to keep her team alive. Nice hit there by Ebert. Her team leading 6th kill of the night. Judson, though, still needs 3 more points in a row at least to stay alive. Here's Connolly for the win. Hit high into the rafters, still alive. And Judson gets it over. Nice defense by the Eagles. Connolly again for the win. This time she drops it in there. And the Saints take game 2, 25-21. They take a 2-0 lead in the match over Judson and are now just 1 win away from getting out of here with a victory, which would be their first at home in a couple of weeks after a couple of very tough losses last week. So an excellent start today for the Saints. 25-19, they take the opener. 25-21, they take set 2. And now we'll take a quick break here. Back with the third set and potentially the decisive set for St. Francis in just a few moments here on the USF Sports Network.
It's a small school, but it's mighty in that it changes your life when you go here.
The experiences that I gained and the life lessons that I learned while I was here are something that I continue to carry with me.
I'm proud to hold 4 degrees from the university. I wouldn't have gone back time and time again if I didn't think that this was a quality education.
No matter where you are in life, with the right people, the right school, and the right support, you can do anything.
Your career is limitless after you go to the University of St. Francis.
St. Francis leads 2-0 after 2 sets, and they have looked awfully good so far in this one against a very tough Judson Eagles team. Desiree Anderson has led the charge. Anderson has got 9 kills through the 2 sets tonight. 6 more for Lauren Stefanski. Stephanie Woods is in there with 5 as well. So is Taylor Connolly. Connolly's got 5 and a .556 hitting percentage. Kaylee Sipple has been excellent as the setter today, 22 assists. And they've spread around their 21 digs. Nobody's got more than 5, but they've got 5 different players with at least 2 digs so far in tonight's match. As far as blockers go, Lauren Stefanski and Desiree Anderson have each been part of 2 of them so far. Anderson leads the way with 11 points overall. Statistics for Judson after the first 2 sets. They are led by Mackenzie Ebert, who's got 6 kills, a .267 percentage. Katie Valeria's with 5 kills and a .400 hitting percentage so far. Overall, Judson's hitting the ball at a very good rate, .215 percentage overall. But St. Francis, even better, .367 through the first 2 games tonight. Natalie Kofi leads Judson with 10 assists so far in this one. Lindsay Lawler's got 9 of them. 6 digs for Enola Varga. Remember, Varga was the CCAC Defensive Player of the Week last week for her fine digging work, but good start to today. Not quite as dominant, but 6 digs leads the team. They've got 2 blocks apiece, 2 assisted blocks apiece from Mackenzie Ebert and Emmeline Davey. So the Saints have taken the opener 25-19. They've taken the second one 25-21. St. Francis trying to even up their record overall in the season at 11-11. It's a slightly misleading record. They had a very tough schedule to start the year and began 1-8 non-conference, but conference play always more important, and they have been much better in conference, 6-3, and now 1 win away from improving to 7-3 in CCAC play for the season. Stefanski, Anderson, Woods, Sipple, Lab, and Paelmo out there to start things for the Fighting Saints, and Hannah Monfrey, the libero, comes in for Stefanski to get us going. Looks like Diaz, Vega, Kofi, Davey, Valeria, Ebert, and I think I'm missing somebody. Maybe not. Varga has just checked in for Judson. I think I am missing somebody for the Eagles. I'll figure out who it was in just a moment. But Paelmo's ready to get us started here as we open the third set with a Gabby Paelmo serve. Ebert's hit, diving play by Monfrey to keep it alive. And a block at the net by Katie Valeria. Judson strikes first. It's Alyssa Gerzel, by the way. Gerzel's the player that I didn't see before. But Judson takes a 1-0 lead. They have scored first in all 3 games tonight. Hasn't really helped them overall. Not in the first 2 sets. We'll see if they're able to jump out to a bigger lead here in the third one. They're up 2-0 on an Ebert hit at the net. 50-50 ball there right over the net. Ebert was able to get there before Kaylee Sipple. So Judson is ahead by 2. Another serve from Skylar Cavill. Back and forth at the net. Now Judson will set it up again. Ebert, played by Anderson. With a chance for Anderson, tapped over the blockers. Kofi steps up with the play. Sipple hits it over with the left hand. Judson keeps it alive. One of the best rallies we've seen all night, probably the best. Sipple for Woods. Stephanie Woods drops it out of bounds. After a really good rally, Woods found a blank spot on the floor down the sideline on her own side and just pushed it a little bit too far. Pulled it a little bit too far out of bounds. Up by a couple of inches. Anderson tries to get the Saints on the board, but Judson's able to play it. There's Anderson with two hands going across court. Nice recovery by Ebert. Now at the net. Sipple keeps it alive. Anderson tipped, and on the back line it's Cavill. Another good rally. Woods gets it over to Cavill. Push to the back line. Diving play by Paelmo. Great defense by both sides. Blocked out of bounds by Judson. Anderson's attack is hit out by the combination of Gerzel and Davey. And that point goes to the Fighting Saints. 3-1. St. Francis is on the board. Out of bounds on the attack by Ebert. The attacking error against Judson pulls the Saints to within one early on here in this third set. Fighting Saints lead 2-0 in the match, and they've tied up the set. And that one dropped all the way inside the line on the serve from Stephanie Woods. Kenya Diaz-Vega just let it go, and in that case, didn't read it all that well. Again, it hits the line. Diaz-Vega tried her luck for a second time in a row. Not going her way right now. The first one that she let go dropped all the way inside the line. That one barely got the line. It's an ace either way, and Stephanie Woods has two of those in a row. Saints have scored 4 straight points, and now they've scored 5 in a row. Net violation on Judson. Saints have gone on some good runs in every game so far. They've waited a little bit longer in the first two. Now they've gone on a big early run here in game 3. Miss hit on the defensive play by Desiree Anderson, and that puts Judson back on the board. Eagles needed that point. They got it. 4 serving 5 here. Anytime you're down 2-0 and the other team gets off to a great start to the third set, there's always the risk of fading down the stretch. Judson needed that point to make sure it wouldn't happen. Stefanski tries to get the Saints back on the board. Nice play by Diaz-Vega. Stefanski again with 2 hands. Judson plays it. There's Anderson. And a point for Desiree Anderson. Anderson's in double figures. She's already got 3 kills out of the 6 points for the Saints here in set number 3. So 12 for her in the game now. We'll make that 11 in the match now for Anderson. That was her second. And Mackenzie Ebert gets the point for Judson here. So that's Ebert's 7th kill. Check that. I can't count very well at all. 9 kills for Ebert. So she's approaching double figures as well. Sipple hits it over the net and catches Judson napping. Nice hit by Kaylee Sipple. Setting it over. Saints by a 2 spot here. Here's a serve from Anderson. To the back line and over the back line. Out of bounds. And I think that Enola Varga right now is arguing that that ball was tipped. Point to St. Francis as it stands. And they lead by 3. As that one was smacked just a little bit too hard. Anderson serves for the Fighting Saints. Blocked by Stefanski. Big block Stefanski, who has led the conference in blocks the last 2 seasons and is in the lead this season as well. That's her 3rd of the night. This time an attempted block is tipped out of bounds from Peyton Baird, and so the point goes to Judson. Good run there for the Fighting Saints. Able to create a little distance, but Judson gets back in it with that point. So now they trail 9-6 as Stefanski hits it over. Judson led 9-6 each of the last 2 games. That hit goes out of bounds along the sideline, just outside that line. St. Francis leads 10-6. They trailed 10-6 in game 2. It's their biggest deficit of the entire night, and it was quickly erased as they scored the next 3 points and 8 of the next 9. But Monfrey hits this one into the net. Judson trails by 3 with the serve back. It's the 6th service error of the match for St. Francis, but they also have 5 aces tonight. Kofi's serve is played out back by Connolly. Sipple for Monfrey to Connolly. Pushed over by Valeria, and Monfrey's hit goes under the net. Back-to-back points for Judson, so they're right there now with the Fighting Saints. Eagles need this win to stay alive on the match. Sipple for Woods. Woods got off to a hot start, a little quiet of late. And a big hit right there from Gerzel. Gets Judson within 1, 3 in a row for the Eagles. Gerzel's got her 5th kill. First one of this 3rd set. 9 serving 10 here. It's Natalie Kofi who gets the serve. Kofi, senior setter from the Chicagoland area, but she's from the northern suburbs. Elgin, Illinois, right in the vicinity of Judson. Desiree Anderson comes flying in from the back. And Anderson picks up another point. 14 points overall tonight for Desiree Anderson, the reigning CCAC Attacker of the Week. She's won that award twice in the last month. Angling for another one with an impressive showing so far today. Kofi sets for Wilkins, a little bit behind Wilkins. So she hits it over flat-footed. Conley goes up high and throws it down, but Ebert is there to get the dig on the other end. Out of bounds on the hit from Wilkins. Point goes to St. Francis. And Abby Labb gets the serve. To the back line, that's out of bounds. So back-to-back hits from Judson have soared a little bit too far out of bounds. And after the Eagles had tightened it up with 3 consecutive points, the Saints have distanced themselves a little bit once again. They lead by 4, matching their biggest of the set. They can make it 5 right here. Conley is blocked. Sipple gives it a try. And the whistle blows, an illegal hit on Kaylee Sipple. The point goes to Judson. They trail by 3. It is Kenya Diaz-Vega serving. Sipple sets for Woods, a little bit behind her. Woods gets it over. And Gerzell slices it across, dropping it in front of Anderson. Judson is back within 2. St. Francis has the lead, just 12 points away from a match sweep. Judson, though, is looking for their 3rd straight point. Here's Conley, blocked at the net. Woods right back over, and Judson can't get it across. Nice recovery by St. Francis. Judson tried to pull it off defensively and couldn't do it. So the Saints are back on the board, ending that short little run for Judson. Saints have kept a multi-point lead pretty much the whole way here. Judson scored the first 3 points. St. Francis has dominated ever since. At the net, kept alive by Sipple. Here's Anderson. Stephanie Woods drops it down. Woods heating up again here in the 3rd set. She and the Saints lead by 4. The timeout is called by Judson. And their head coach, Julia Fahey, in her 4th season with the program here, also spent 1 season as the Judson men's coach. Had some success there, but he's had a lot of success here with the women's program as well. Judson has been one of the top programs in the CCAC in recent years. And this season off to a good start. They came into play today with an overall record of 13-6, but very different type of season to the one that St. Francis has had. A little bit slower start to conference play as they began the year in conference with a couple of losses. They were 2-3 in conference at one point, but they were very successful in non-conference season. Fighting Saints played a little bit more of a difficult schedule non-conference, gearing themselves up for the CCAC. And it has proven to be a pretty good formula for Kara Courier. Maybe their record isn't what they'd want it to be overall, but they were ready for the start of CCAC play. They've been very good in conference. 10-11 overall, but a game ahead of Judson in the conference standings, 6-3 compared to the Eagles 5-4. Out of the timeout, it's a serve for Paelmo. The back line played by Diaz Vega. Gerzell hits it over, tipped at the net, but down out of bounds, and a point to the Eagles. Typically throughout this match, whoever has called a timeout has gotten a pretty good boost out of that stop. And Judson keeps that trend going by getting the first point out of the break here. Woods hits it into the net. And a point to St. Francis. That was, I think, played by Judson on the wrong side. It's a crucial point in this game for the Fighting Saints. Always a big swing point when you're up by 3. There's a huge difference between a 2-point lead and a 4-point lead. Woods and the Saints now just 9 away from victory. Ebert hits it out of bounds, but it was tipped. Tipped by the Fighting Saints. So the point to Judson. The serve belongs to Lindsay Lawler. Sipple hits it high in the air for Anderson, and Anderson finishes it off. Good pass by Sipple. Strong finish from Anderson. And the Saints are keeping Judson at arm's length here. Not letting them get too close. Ebert trying to get him a little bit closer at least, and she does with a pretty hit. That lands right on that back line, perfectly placed by Mackenzie Ebert. Three-point game. Anderson to the back line, and Ebert. High in the air from Ebert. Blocked at the net by the Fighting Saints. And over the back line by Ebert. Point to St. Francis. Anderson is back to serve. That went off of Anderson's hands and out of bounds, so a point to Judson. That hit from Zoe Eitel. Eitel has her 4th kill of the night. Saints have kept Judson at a distance throughout this 3rd set. But the Eagles have not let them pull away, so credit to Judson for fighting, continuing to keep themselves alive in this thing. They're one good run away from taking the lead, but Desiree Anderson making that run a little bit more difficult. So Anderson picks up the kill. That is 14 tonight for Anderson. Ebert blocked. Peyton Baird on the block. Woods was in there as well. St. Francis has a 5-point lead, and Judson calls timeout. The Fighting Saints have not been threatened really too much throughout tonight's match, and in particular in this 3rd set. Judson has led a handful of times tonight, not in this set, but throughout the first 2. But their leads typically came early. And in both the 1st and 2nd sets, Fighting Saints went on a run about midway through and sort of pulled away from Judson. That first set, they really did pull away to a 6-point victory. The second one was kept close. In fact, the second one was played within 1 point in either direction for a long time before the Saints finally got hot again at the end and walked out with a 4-point victory. But in this 3rd set, after Judson started with a 3-0 run, it has been all St. Francis. They've led by multiple points, I believe ever since 6-4. And right now they're up by 5, which is a game high for them. Let's see if they can put it away. Monfrey certainly helps with the ace. Maya Stovall not able to get a clean hit on that. And so it is now a game high 6-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Monfrey serves again. Stovall across the net and drops it in along the sideline. Little assist to the net there. Stovall has her 1st kill of the night. The 1st set that she's been out here this evening. Judson's hope's still alive, but they need to get hot here. They need an 8-3 run at least. Baird. Stovall blocked and inbounds. Peyton Baird on the block once again. Huge block from Baird and the Fighting Saints. And it's Abby Lab's turn to serve. Leading now by 6. Valeria's hit returned by the Saints, and the point to the Saints. Hit off the net, wasn't blocked by St. Francis, never cleared. So the 4th hit pulls the Saints within 2 of victory. Another serve from Lab. And it is not returned after the miscommunication from Judson. Ebert touched it first, and then looked like Gerzel and Stovall just kind of looked at each other. So the misplay by the Judson defense makes it match point for the Fighting Saints. Nice play by Monfrey, and a chance for the win right here from Woods. Judson plays it back. Valeria dug out by Anderson. Here's Connolly for the win. She's got it. 25-16. It is a final. St. Francis has defeated Judson tonight. What a performance by the Fighting Saints. Couple of early deficits in all 3 games, but after slow starts, the Saints turned all 3 of them around and ran away to victories. This one, the most decisive of all, 25-16 the final score, after taking the first 2 by totals of 25-19 and 25-21. So the Saints pull off a 3-set victory. It's their second straight win. That has come in 3. They defeated Governor State in straight sets last week at Governor State. They pick up their first home win in a little while, which is always nice. Not that they have played poorly at home, but back-to-back losses. So it's good to see them get back on the winning track here at St. Francis as they take out Judson in 3 straight sets. Again, 25-19, 25-21, 25-16. I think we've got the head coach of the Fighting Saints with us now, Kara Courier. Kara, you got a big smile on your face. I can't imagine why after that one.
Oh, yes, that was nice. We needed that one for sure.
A really hard-fought loss against IUSB earlier this weekend, and now you come out today against Judson, a team that is right behind you in the conference standings. They've played really well throughout the CCAC. I don't know if you're surprised that you won, but I think maybe a bit of a surprise that it came as dominantly as it was.
It was. I felt like I implored with our team from the beginning to bring energy, to get excited, to try to get that momentum right off the bat. I don't know if we were quite as excited and we quite had the dominating flow that I wanted right off the bat, but I felt like we picked it up as we went, and we never really like I said, I always tell them that a match will kind of be like a roller coaster during the whole thing, and it's how you handle when you're down and the other team is up, and I felt like we really kept our composure, didn't let them go on too big of runs, and we're able to keep the tempo and the pace of the match.
Yeah, you kept things close early on in all three sets, but you ended up falling behind in all 3. What did you think was the key to turning things around? Did it come early, or was it just that idea of keeping the composure the whole way through?
I think a lot of it is that composure. That's something that we have to work on. Like I said, volleyball is such a momentum game, and you have to understand that it's going to go both ways, both times, and it's how you decide to handle when the momentum's not going your way. If you freak out and panic, then that's where it can get really out of control on you right off the bat. So we work hard on trying to put ourselves in situations so that we learn how to mitigate that damage, weather the storm, and fight through those moments.
Looking at the schedule coming up, I don't ever want to say it gets easy. There's no such thing as an easy conference game, but I mean, you've really been through the ringer the last couple of weeks, facing in the span of 2 weeks St. Xavier and Olivet Nazarene and IUSB and now Judson, really the entire top half of the conference. What does it mean to you that you're able to get out of this, not with wins in every match, but with an impressive showing in every match, and now going against the bottom half of the conference the next few times? How do you feel about your team's ability going into that?
You know what, I hope that we've learned a lot. I hope we've learned not to overlook anything. I think Cardinal Stritch has a really good team. St. Ambrose has got a really good team. Roosevelt gave us all we can handle the first time we played them. So I don't think there's anybody that we can really overlook and take a breather on. But I think if we can come out with intensity all the time and play good, solid ball like we have been, I think we should be able to take it to most of the other teams in the conference. So,
Coach Kara Courier, congrats on the win. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. You bet.
St. Francis defeats Judson tonight in 3 straight sets, 25-19, 25-21, 25-16. Let's take a look at some of the final stats in this one. A very impressive offensive night for the Fighting Saints. They finished with a .309 hitting percentage as a team, holding Judson to 146 overall tonight. Desiree Anderson led everybody with 14 kills. She had a .267 percentage herself. Stephanie Woods, great night with 8 kills and a .350 hitting percentage. Taylor Connolly had 6 kills, including the game winner. And she had a .429 percentage tonight. Kaylee Sipple led the way with 29 assists. Hannah Monfrey and Gabby Paelmo tied atop the leaderboard for the Saints with 8 digs apiece. And Stephanie Woods, Lauren Stefanski, Peyton Baird all chipped in with parts of 3 blocks throughout tonight's match. For Judson, Mackenzie Ebert led the way, 11 kills, but again, just not the same numbers in terms of the hitting percentage for Judson up and down that lineup they did not have a ton of success, and a big part of that was the impressive defense for St. Francis. Natalie Kofi led the Eagles with 16 assists, 12 digs from Enola Varga. And as a team, Judson had just 6 blocks tonight to St. Francis's 12. So the Fighting Saints pick up the victory. They improved to 11-11 overall this year. They are now 7-3 in conference play. Judson falls to 13-7. They're 5-5 in the conference. Next up for the Fighting Saints, they will be at Indiana Wesleyan this weekend, and the next time they play here, another tough home match against Cardinal Stritch University. That is 1 week from today, a 7 o'clock start time. And, of course, we'll have the broadcast for you. So if you want to watch it, if you want to get all of your St. Francis updates, make sure to go to GoFightingSaints.com for anything you need to find out about USF volleyball. Big win for the Saints tonight. They take it in 3 straight sets against Judson. That's going to do it for our broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves tonight as much as the Fighting Saints did. For the entire crew here at the Sullivan Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off. Have a good night.